of you know that lightning damage our electronic devices like TVs, set-top box and other electronics. But how? How lightning damage our electronics? Today we are going to answer this question. Technology advances in the world of electronics and microprocessors. The value of electronic equipment in typical house has increased enormously. The advantages are many: faster data acquisition, real-time control and fully automated factories. Unfortunately, increased performance is the susceptibility of these semiconductor devices to voltage and current transient events. They are often subjected to induced energy caused by lightning because of their generally low dielectric strength. If you didn't watch my dielectric strength video, you can watch from description or I button. Electronic chips have very delicate macroscopic circuitry that is easily damaged by even small sparks from static electricity. Most other appliances like washers, refrigerators, lamps, etc. usually don't have a lot of electronic components, so static electricity usually won't harm them. Before investigating how lightning damages electronics, let's understand what actually lightning is. Lightning is a natural phenomena caused by a separation of electrical positive and negative charges by atmospheric process, where fine cloud particles acquire a positive electrical charge at the top of the cloud. Larger particles acquire a negative charge at the bottom of the cloud. When the separated charges gets very large, the dielectric strength of air between the positive and the negative regions of the clouds breaks down in a giant spark, which is an cloud-to-cloud stroke. Most of the time the surface of the earth is positively charged, and when the electric charges are built up in thundercloud to such a level that could break atmospheric insulation, that is the dielectric strength of air, an electric discharge eventually occurs between these clouds or between the clouds and the ground. Electric current of the stroke reaches 20 to 200 kiloamperes. The resulting current flow ionize and hit the air along the path to 54,000 degree Fahrenheit. That is 5 times hotter than the sun. Major part of the each stroke usually lasts much less than the thousandth of the second. Now let's see how the lightning damages our electronics. Lightning effect can cause damage to sensitive electronic equipment in several ways, including direct coupling, inductive coupling and capacitive coupling. When lightning hits the ground, it finds several conductive paths to a discharge in ground. That may be from overhead power cables, communication lines, underground cables or saturated ground. Let's see them one by one. Direct lightning on overhead power lines. When lightning hits, it finds low resistance path to ground. As the power lines is elevated and conductive, most of the time lightning discharge on the power lines. This network is an effective collector of the lightning surge. When lightning hit the line, it discharges its energy into cable and produce high over voltages, which now propagates through a network. Because ground can't absorb this much of energy in a fraction of a second, and ground gets saturated. When the rate of current flow is greater than the earth's ability to absorb, current follow an alternate path. So, energy seeks other direct paths to ground. Power conductors then conduct the surges directly into the residence and then to the unprotected connected equipment nearby, which create massive damage. This is called direct coupling. Equipment connected to cable a mile or 1.6 km or more away from the site of the strike can be damaged. Lightning can also travel through the ground, that is soil, further reaching underground cables or pipes. This is another route for the lightning to come into building and can also damage the cables. Second way lightning damages our electronics is the electromagnetic induction or electrodynamic effect. According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, when an alternating current flows through a conductor, a magnetic field is produced around it. And if we place another conductor within that magnetic field, second conductor cuts the flux and voltage is induced in second conductor. This induced voltage then forces the current to flow. This phenomena is applied here. When lightning strikes near the power lines or communication lines, it produces brief but a very high intensity magnetic field. Due to varying nature of lightning current, it radiates magnetic field. This can induce voltage in a conductor within a radius of up to 1 km around the lightning strike point, which can then induce high voltage in nearby conductors. This is proportional to the power and the rate of speed variation of the lightning strike. Magnetic field intensity is greatest near stroke. Greater frequencies create higher voltage. If the induced energy is very high, it can travel through a conductor and reach the sensitive devices like in case of direct strike to conductors. Also, Lightning does not have to strike the ground to inductively couple induced voltage in power line. That is, cloud-to-cloud stroke can also produce induced voltage surge in nearby conductors. The third way is electrostatic induction. It is found that when an uncharged body is brought near charged body, it acquires some charge, and it remains charged as long as charged body is present. This phenomena is called as electrostatic induction. Charge acquired by uncharged body is called as induced charge. Positive charged body induces negative charge on the uncharged body, and vice versa. According to this, when thunderclouds located above a power cable or communication cable contain a negative charge at their bottom parts, high-level positive charges are induced electrostatically within the cable, and high voltages developed by electrostatic induction from thunderclouds. At the instance, the negative charge at the bottom of the thundercloud disappears by discharging between the clouds or between the cloud and the ground. Then, the positive charge which is trapped by the cable are freed and led to both the direction on the cable as a surge voltage. There are few more ways lightning can damage our electronics, but I have discussed the most frequent and main ways. In this video, I have discussed the ways, but in practical case, there are number of protection devices are connected in power lines and distribution system to protect our equipments. So, if we don't have that protection devices, definitely lightning cause damage to our equipments. In the upcoming video, I will discuss how lightning protection works. As always, thanks for watching. If you learned something from this video, press the like button and subscribe to get notified when I upload next video. Have a good day.